Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Duplex Built to Rent. My name is Juan Cristales. I'm a full-time real estate investor in the Texas market. What we do now is build duplexes. I started off doing single-family homes. I did a bunch of those, and I started new construction, and eventually I ended up doing duplexes, mostly because the numbers just make a lot more sense, and I'm happy to share that with you guys here. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Thank you so much for watching. Today, we're going to be talking about the sheetrock, and we're going to be talking about the firewall. Those are a couple of things that people have a lot of questions about, specifically the firewall and how you can potentially fail an inspection. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of things here. So let's get into it. Let me start off here at the very beginning. We have a few pictures and I got some video for you. Right now what we got going on is the sheetrock is up and we had a small lull. So basically what happens is the tape and float, so this stuff that you see right here, you see this here, this stuff has to harden before they can do the sanding, and it has to harden to the point where they can sand it really well and then go over that with the actual texture. Okay, and so because of that, this guy here is actually putting up the backer board in the tub for the tub surround and the tile that's going to be going on there. So that part of it is pretty simple. What he's putting on there, this brown stuff that he's painting on there, it is this cool stuff. It is basically called waterproof membrane that comes in a bucket like this. You paint that stuff on there, and eventually what happens is it's like a rubbery substance that you cover the entire wall, that you'll see here in a little bit, but this is going to be all completely covered. And basically what it does is prevents water from going through the tile, because it always goes through the tile. It's kind of like, you know, the grout falls off, but you want it to kind of run down on the inside of the tub, so that way there's no water that's being, you know, held behind there, just, you know, basically becoming festering and just becoming a problem, and mold and stuff like that. So that's why we do the waterproof stuff. So here I'm just taking pictures of some of the stuff that we ordered. There's the tile that we're going to be using. This is one of the other tubs. People ask me how come there's insulation in some of the walls but not these walls. The reason why there's no insulation here is because this is an interior wall, which means that the other side of this, on the back side of this over here, is another room. So there's no requirement to have insulation. Now, if these walls right here, for example, and they're not, but let's say, for example, that these walls here are exterior walls, basically the elements are on the outside right there, then you're required to have insulation on that. But since there is no exterior right there, there's no insulation requirement. So taking pictures here of the stuff, of the material that we had delivered. As an example, we have exterior walls right here. As you can see here, this is an exterior wall that would have insulation. That tub does not. All right, so some more material. Now, this particular tub, as you can see, it does have insulation. And the reason why is because these are exterior walls. That means the elements are immediately behind here. That, you know, rain, water, heat, whatever the case is. Now this here, this goes out toward the master bedroom, so there's no insulation requirement here. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, why some walls are and some walls are not. Exterior walls are required to have insulation. Now, yes, there are some people who will put insulation in there because they want sound barrier, but that's a whole totally different thing that people want to do. Now, the structure has had the texture put up. It's a little bit hard to see. Hopefully you can see it better. You can see a little bit better here. So this particular one, this is 104 Runnels, has had all the insulation put up. I'm going to give you guys a quick video to show you exactly what it looks like close up, but this is what it looks like finished. So there's a couple of phases here. You have to hang it, you have to tape it, you have to float it, and then you have to texture it. So let's go through it real quick. So the first step here, number one, is someone has to hang the stuff, and that means just putting it up. Normally they start from the top down. So they start at, you know, up here, putting all the stuff up, and then they get to the bottom. So that's the hang phase. The second phase is the tape and float. So you see here, there's a seam, right? Because what happens is that there's a piece of plywood, a piece of sheetrock here, there's another piece of sheetrock right there. And so when they go over it with a piece of tape, and that tape then gets floated. These ones that are here are from the screws that have been, you know, punched into the wall, right? Because whenever they screw it in, it leaves a divot in the sheetrock. And so what they do is they float, and they just put a little bit of mud. This stuff is called mud, and they just skim right over it so that it's a smooth, consistent pattern. And so what happens at the end of the day is that you can't see when you're just, this place is painted and everything's finished, you can't see where one piece of sheetrock begins and the other one ends. You can't see the divots of where the screws are in. That's the purpose and the point of doing that. And then the last thing, of course, is going to be the texture. And you can see it up here pretty good. Definitely can see it up here at the very top. So all the texture is done. This is leftover material we're going to be using at the duplex next door at 106 Runnels. And that's the end of those pictures. Let me show you guys a little bit more here. Oh wait, got some more pictures. So the computer was a little bit slow. So you can see the reflection here. The texture is looking good. Here's the guy that's actually putting the texture in. You can see it here on the left-hand side, and you can see it right here at the very, very top. Looks good. And so one of the things that they do whenever they put the texture up is they cover up the windows, because this stuff is going to be difficult to clear off or clean off the windows. So I'm glad these guys do it. We actually asked them to do it. They normally do it without you asking, but that's just part of the process. All right, so now we are inside one of the units. This is going to be, I'm pretty sure, this is 104 Runnels, but this is going to be the left unit. So you can see it right there. All the texture is looking good. One of the things that I'm doing now to save some money is not putting the window seals up. You can see all the texture right there. It is looking good. One of the reasons I come up to the wall like this, guys, and you really can't see it here, but one of the things that you want to do whenever you're doing this stuff is looking down the line to make sure you don't have any big, massive bumps in your walls. As you can see down the edge here, you don't want to have any big lumps, because once it's painted, it's going to be very, very visible. It's a good time to call it out. All right, so we're moving on here into the rest of the rooms. Now we're going into the master bathroom. Boom, you can see right here how the entire thing in the tub has been completely painted in with that membrane stuff. That's the stuff that keeps the water out. Okay, so now we are on the other side. A small little tip and trick of the things that we do is we put pieces of plywood, I'm sorry, a piece of 2x4 right there against the door, because what happens is that we have a doorknob right there and it will divot the sheetrock if we're not careful with it. So we always put a piece of wood there to keep it from smacking in. So now we're at a point where we definitely need to get someone out there to clean up. If you'll notice here, we have trash. Can you see it? Well, I'm probably going to be zooming in here in a second, but man, look at this. Trash, 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 trash. This kind of stuff irks me personally because I don't like to have a dirty work site. So we have to get somebody out there to start cleaning up all this stuff. And this is where I tell you, you need to have someone that's like just a regular laborer to start, going around the property and picking stuff up, making sure your place looks nice and well kept. It really does affect, in my opinion, inspect what you expect, right? We always talk about that. But at the same time, like if one of the city inspectors shows up to your property and everything's clean and everything's picked up and it looks nice, it looks like a well-organized project, right? But imagine if if the city inspector goes out to this particular project and they see like all kinds of like trash and junk all over the place, right? They're going to be concerned. They're probably going to be a little bit nippy because like, man, that guy's really sloppy, or he can't get on his contractors to ensure that they get a clean product, right? So that's always going to be a challenge. So, we want to make sure that we address that. Okay, and now for my last couple of items that I need to address. We are now at the 106 Runnels property. This is the other one that's right next door to it. And if you notice here, this is the firewall right there. And I'm sending these pictures over to the guy who's actually, putting this stuff up. And I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, you can't have these divots in here. There can't be any space. All this stuff needs to be it needs to have mud in it whenever you do this stuff, because otherwise what happens is we fail this inspection. So look here, and I'm not even getting up there. I can see it, right? And so I'm like, all this stuff needs to have mud on it. It needs to be taped in really, really well. And just, there's supposed to be no gaps allowing anything to come through to the other side. Okay, that's one of the purposes of the firewall, is to prevent a fire from going from one side to the other side. And the way you prevent that is by ensuring that there's no perforations, there's no holes, there's nothing crazy like we have going on here. Now, this is not a big oversight. These particular guys that I'm using to do this, are actually they're relatively new to the whole building firewall situation. The guy that was doing it for some crazy reason, I just can't get a hold of this guy, but he works in apartments. So that's a key thing for you if you're looking for contractors for this specific trade. Is look for a contractor who does sheetrock, who has specifically worked in apartments, because in an apartment complex you have multiple walls that are firewalls, right? We have, sometimes the top, sometimes both sides are firewall requirements. And so whenever they work on this stuff, they know that it has to be inspected. There can't be no perforations. It has to be completely taped in. And so for that reason, you want to have someone that has that experience, because they already know exactly that, they're gonna have to go back and fix things that they, may have accidentally missed. So anyway, that's really the big tip that I got for you today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you guys on the next one.